What's up, guys? It's Brendan from Market Makers, your home for Fibonacci and Wyckoff TA. Guys, are you excited about how we set that chart up yesterday? Because it worked out absolutely beautifully looking at the screen. We came and tested the zero point 0.5 fib, lined up with the 55 EMA. We got rejected. We traded this in our room as a nice 2,700 point move. Guys, we got a lot of good feedback about these charts that we put out there. And I want to share with you a couple of comments from guys in the room. Hello all, thank you for your tips, guys. Your Discord is worth every penny. Made the fees for 2 years just tonight. We are not expensive, guys. We are not an expensive room. So working my way through it all, just finished a Mark Douglas audiobook. Every member should listen to that. It's life-changing. So impressed with all the education and tools. Seriously, the best trading group there is. Thank you for all the great content. Bringing this up to you guys because I want you to know that our room is no risk, no obligation. You go to the video description, you download Discord, they email you, open the email, verify your account, click our link. You pay, you come try it out for a week. If you're not satisfied, you get a full refund, no questions asked, no sales pitch. It's a fantastic community, a fantastic room. I do something different. I don't upcharge for any of the education material. We got books, got tons of trading videos. I upload new content, me and the admin team, all of the time. I just finished a 3-part trend trading video series, which is working out beautifully, especially for the new people. I'd love to have you guys come check it out. So guys, let's do something interesting because as you know, February is coming up, right? So we have a couple of things happening February. My daughter sent me this. She's into this. So Astro Finance. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. Astro Finance or Cosmo Finance. You see some stuff with moon cycles and indicators and that type of stuff. But there's a couple interesting things. Let me correlate this with you with one of the greats, okay? Gann. Gann used a lot of astrological concepts in his trading. He's the father of geometric trading and the godfather of time, utilizing time as a method for trading, the master time factor, okay? As you guys know, I collect Wyckoff stuff, okay? I have all of Wyckoff's original writings and his seminars for 13 years. Took a long time to collect his original writings. So many people, there's a lot of choices to read books from people who wrote about Wyckoff or who write about Gann because they're difficult reads. They're very heady reads. It's a lot of information. Not a lot of charts because those charts are hand drawn back then. So it's a lot of description, a lot of examples. But I love this stuff. I love to learn from the source material. Okay, that's how I teach Wyckoff in the room. And I've been collecting Gann stuff, but Gann's got a lot of published stuff. Okay, he's got over 20,000 pages of material. He was into the concept of natural law. He traded price angles, geometric shapes. He believed natural law applied to everything, kind of like Fibonacci numbers, right? You see it in pyramids, you see it in the petals of a flower. So it's the same concept, which is why Gann was like the market mathematician. But he did the same thing even with planetary alignments and things like that. So people also link him heavily to the astrological side of finance, even though he wasn't into like the fortune cookie side. He was a believer in some, certain mathematics of the universe that are universal principles. But I just want to read this to you really quickly. That was a really long description. But I just want you guys to know I'm not crazy. So Pluto is the slowest of all planets in our solar system, taking approximately 248 years to complete one cycle. In the horoscope United States that most modern astrologers use, Pluto will return to the point it occupied in 1776, our nation's founding, in 2222 to 2023. However, it's been very close to that point and will continue to be till 2024. In that chart, Pluto is located in the second house, the one that pertains to financial security. Reason I'm sharing that with you guys, so February has a couple of key numbers in the astro finance world. It's really interesting. I kind of went down the rabbit hole, okay, reading this stuff. February has 2/22/22, and then February has 2/2/22. Okay, so interesting to note, if this article that I've read is true, Pluto will be in alignment with the United States, which it has not been in since 1776, which for those of you in other countries, that was a year of our revolution in this country, in the house of economics, the house of finance, which is an astrological thing, but on 2/22/22, the day before, the day after, based on the new data that's coming out. So if you guys can find anything, I believe, I'm a big believer in the power of multiple people looking for things. I'd be very curious to see if we can find any key events happening in that time frame around 2/22/22, because I'm sure enough going to be looking at fib circles, fib time and phi summation series to see if we can find something, okay? Because I thought it would be fun. Be really interesting if we can find a cool event, and if something happens on that day, like a pivot point, maybe a market pump, market crash, and then, we can do fortune cookie TA here. But guys, let's look at Wyckoff. So we have our weekly candle. I had some people ask about the weekly chart to show it again. So I know some people want to see this in a monthly and they want to see multiple years. I'll work on it, guys. It's a lot to do. I do TA all day long in the room, and we're always posting trade signals, and then I'm doing my own education on my own, reading a lot. I mean, I'm doing this stuff 12, 14 hours a day. But I'll try to get the previous cycles in Wyckoff as well, so we can see how it can compare, because that's a good idea. I just haven't had time to do it. But we're just holding our accumulation box. Let's go ahead and click through some of these timelines here, okay? As you can see on the weekly time frame, we covered this last chart. Holding the 618 fabulously well, which we must do. That's 34,914. The markets were nuts today, guys. Jerome Powell spoke. Initially, they rallied, and then they dumped, and then they rallied. Okay, the VIX was over 30. Highly volatile to be in the marketplace, but Bitcoin's holding up well. It's interesting because in November, Bitcoin led the way and dumped. Okay, or I mean lagged. The markets dumped first, and then Bitcoin dumped. But now the markets are dumping, pumping, but Bitcoin's just kind of doing its own thing in accumulation. So this could end up being where we need to be for the bottom, or this could end up being just holding on to support for a deeper retracement. But when we go to the 4-hour time frame, this is still bullish, guys. I know a lot of people are going to ask me this, so this is very bullish. So we're in accumulation here, right? We have a selling climax candle. We establish our range. That's the green lines here. We established our range, and we moved up out of our range to the last point of support, okay? And what we're doing now, you see how we're testing the moving averages? The best analogy I can give you, and I heard this recently, I thought it was a great analogy. Price is like a rubber band, okay? So if you stretch your rubber band and let the rubber band go, it snaps back like an equal length, okay? So you have to understand this concept. When you dump away from your moving averages, away from your resistance, price will always seek support or find resistance. So it can come back up, and it's just like a rubber band. It's going to back test these moving averages. Okay, that's how I knew it was going to come up. This is why in the Wyckoff cycle that when you have markdowns, you go into severe markdown. If you have a prolonged markdown, you're bound to rise back up. Very rarely do you just mark down, accumulate, and fall down without ever finding resistance. Okay, it happens, but it's rare. So in general, in marketplaces, just like in the SPX, the NASDAQ, the Dow, everything fell and everything wants to come back and back test its resistance, which used to be support. So that's what Bitcoin's doing now. And it's either going to continually get rejected, at which point it will start falling, okay, and then it'll be bearish if it starts exiting these ranges, or it's going to start flipping these as support. And as you can see, we flipped the 34, we're testing the 55, we fell back below the 34, but we're staying up. Key concept, right? We're staying up in a higher low right now. So we got to see what happens here. We don't know what's going to happen in the other marketplaces. They're kind of crazy, so they could dump, they could pump, and I'm talking about big moves in those markets, okay? I'm talking about 800-point swings back and forth. So be really interesting to watch what happens. Let's just look at a couple key indicators here, see if we did anything. Let's see if we got near the Ichi cloud. Yeah, we didn't even get up to the Ichi cloud. We tested the 5 fib at the 55. Got spiked above it and then fell below. So I think what Bitcoin's looking to do is another wave. It's going to try another wave back up. We'll see how much progress it makes. Maybe it can get up another fib level. I want to see it come up to the 618. It's such a key Fibonacci retracement level, and flip that as support. Most likely making some type of structure like this. You'll have a selling climax candle just like you had here. And then if you can hold the 618 in accumulation, this will be your backup, which becomes a reaccumulation box, okay? And that's how you can get the propulsion to move up, break through the 4-hour cloud, move up to the 1 fib and get that continuation wave, hopefully up to the 1618, which would be 50K. 50,398, and that would be a nice move, nice trade for everybody, and nice for people that are holding onto spot to hopefully get a little bit more price value. So we spent a lot of time going over the downside, so I'm not going to go over that again today because we did that yesterday. So for all those people that want to see the downside, go to yesterday's video and you can see that. Let's turn Ichi off. Let's look at a couple volatility indicators, guys. I like the Caterpillar. This functions like Bollinger Bands. I'm a big volatility trader. Price volatility. When you see compression in this, look at this compression, you get a big move. You see this? And this move went to the downside, obviously. but it's starting to tunnel up again. It's starting to compress. This happens when price consolidates, volatility drops, okay, when price starts consolidating, and then you're going to get a move. And if we're in a bullish situation, that move could be up. And again, that first move is really going to be that test at 618. I think we're going to come up and test at 618. I'm telling you guys that here now on Wednesday, okay? May not happen tomorrow, may not happen Thursday or Friday, but I think we're going to come up and test the 618. We're either going to get rejected or we're going to flip it. And if we can flip it, that's super bullish, and we can make that backup structure that we've been making in these cycles and then move up to test that 1 fib, okay? And that's the key fib because of the 233. Remember what our moving averages, whether they're EMAs or simple moving averages are simply a measure of price over time, okay? That's the average trading price over 233 days. It means price is traded above it, price is traded below it, and this is the average here on the 4-hour time frame. It's such a key moving average to flip because it's so large, 233, okay? You get above that, which happens to be above the 1 fib again, which will give you confluence for a wave projection out to the 1618, moving up to 50K. That would be awesome. Even if it ends up being a dead cat bounce, it would be awesome. It would give everybody a chance to profit and potentially sell if that's what they decide to do. Or we hold that as support and we keep moving up from there. So we have to see, we got to wait and see what happens. All right, guys, I'm going to keep this video short today because I'm going to do a longer video tomorrow, and I'm visiting some family here in the city. So I hope everybody has a fantastic evening. Check out BitGet, our sponsor. Their link is in the video description. An awesome place to trade that never crashes. If you guys are on some of these other exchanges that crashes like I used to be, I've been on 5 different exchanges. BitGet is my favorite. They are fantastic. Link in the video description. No VPN, no KYC. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and I'll put those altcoin videos out tomorrow as well. I have my list. All right, guys? All right, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Happy trading.